I just think that Anderson Silva has a chance to beat anybody in the world. I don't care what weight you're in.
Yeah.
It's not an easy fight for anybody. You know what I mean? Whether it's heavyweight, light heavyweight, middleweight, and I believe if he really wanted to, he could probably even make welter if he had to. I don't know if he can anymore, but sometimes I believe he can. But that's what I feel about him. And of course, me being his manager and being involved in his career and helping him get to where he's at, it may be a little bit biased, but as of right now, I think what he's accomplished, I don't think anyone will ever be able to accomplish. And if they do, it's going to be very, very rare.
Well,
I don't see it happening.
Well, Ed, I think you have to say that George St. Pierre is getting close to that because he's certainly fighting some elite guys, and you start looking at the welterweight division, and if you take George St. Pierre out of it, there's so many toss-up fights there. You put George St. Pierre in, and it's like, oh my God, they're all blowouts and nobody can compete. So that leads to the question, there's been a fight in boxing, Pacquiao-Mayweather, where everybody's been talking for years. We want to see Pacquiao-Mayweather.
Right.
We don't. Same thing on the MMA side, Silva, St. Pierre, and yet we seem no closer today to seeing that fight than we did, a couple of years ago. Do you think that fight will happen? And if it's not happening, why? Is there anything from your side that's preventing it?
There's nothing from our side that's preventing it. Pretty much, to be honest with you, there's never been anything from our side from preventing any fight. I mean, people sometimes think, we have our opinions, but at the end of the day, whoever the UFC's always put in front of us, we've always fought. We've never picked opponents. We may have, when they ask us what our choices are, we may have different choices or different opinions, but we've always fought in whoever they put in front of us. So if the UFC wanted us to fight, the George St. Pierre, fine. Anderson says, hey, have them move up in weight, or let's do a catch weight, whatever. But, it's really not up to us. It's really up to the UFC on what they want to do. I think Anderson, at this point in his career, he has all these records. I think Anderson wants to be involved in the biggest fights possible. I think a fight against George St. Pierre would be a huge fight. And I believe that it would be a great fight, but, I believe Anderson would go in there and prove to the world that he's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, or maybe the best of all time.
Ed, what kind of buzz is developing for the Rio card? Can you feel it?
Yeah, when I was down in Brazil, it's incredible. The sort of, I think the sort of people that are getting involved, what this Rio card is doing for the huge companies in Brazil, and just, in Brazil, it's incredible. And here I think it's starting to build up. It's a great card. There's just a ton of interesting fights. I think it's going to probably be one of the better cards of the year.
Now, we also hear, Kevin, are you ready to sing your jingle? Hey, Ed, can you confirm this for us? Did Anderson land a big marketing deal, a big endorsement deal with Burger King?
Yes, he did. It's you know what, and that's only the first of some others that are about to be announced very soon. Anderson, to me, I'm very happy for him. I'm very excited about everything that's happening. They hooked up with an agency out in Brazil from Ronaldo that's really been helping Anderson, and all the hard work that we've been putting in over the past 5 years, and with the relationship that this agency has been able to bring, it's all worked out, and we're very happy about some of the things that are happening, and it just goes to show you. This is great for Anderson, but it's even better for the sport to show that these sort of companies and are starting to come around and see the value of our sport, and it's really a great feeling, and I think the best is yet to come. I think every day we're getting closer to breaking down those barriers, and I think Anderson has fortunately been able to be the first one to break through.
Hey, Kevin, are you offering up your services to sing the jingle or actually play the king in a commercial?
Well, I actually had, Ed, I just wanted to tell you, because I respect Anderson, I had written a jingle with Anderson's name in Burger King, and I was going to sing it live on the show, but we're kind of getting out of time here, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do it.
Is that unfortunate?
Man, you'll have to send it to me.
That's kind of a tap. I'm just tapping right now.
Yeah. But I could tell you, it's really interesting what they're doing with Anderson. It's really great. They're gonna, you're gonna be able to, potentially. They're gonna be using him very closely. When we saw their plan on what they're gonna do, it's gonna be really, really awesome, and I it's great for Anderson and phenomenal for the sport.
Well, I'm happy for him because I've said all along, I think he should be every bit as big as Manny Pacquiao around the world. He's the top guy on this side, and break down some barriers, and he could be gigantic here the next 3, 4, 5 years as long as he keeps fighting.
That's what we're hoping for. Right now, life is good. He's thank God he's providing a good living for him and his family, and what's really important is we have to start looking on what's going to happen after his career, because Anderson's 36 years old, and he's got 5 fights left on his contract, and I can guarantee you that people are going to see these next 5 fights. But I think it's really important for people to to me, as a fan of the sport, I see when I think about what Anderson Silva is to the MMA, kind of like what Tiger is to golf, or Jordan was to basketball. It's like, I think, the next 5 fights of Anderson Silva, I can't see why, if you're a fan or anyone that's even semi-interested in the sport, why you wouldn't be watching it, because I think it's going to be history in the making.
Good job, Ed. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Ed. Good luck.
All right.